Hey, how's it going? Much news, Acc Thursday 20th of January 2022. Look at the front of the papers. First up, New York Times, still image from a video that was released of a drone strike last summer in Afghanistan that killed 10 civilians, including women and children. The article goes on to provide cover for these horrific war crimes, such as, a suicide bomber a couple of days previous that killed a lot of people, and there was a lot of confusion at the time. And, things like this are going to just happen sometimes. Deal with it. Over here, Biden, Putin, January 6th inquiry, Sleepy Joe's voting bill dead in the Senate, RIP. This guy here at the Green Pipe is monitoring surge water for Omicron. Okay. Wall Street Journal, Biden, Putin, Ukraine, Activision, Bitcoin line go down. USA Today, daycare is closing because of COVID. True crime, true crime. Daily News, Cardi B paid for all the Bronx fire funerals. Okay, good press for her. Empire Lies, that's Donnie, we knew that. New York Post, Sleepy Joe again. Down the bottom, Piers Moron is now getting an article in the New York Post, some kind of column, okay, probably because he's unemployable on this side of the pond. National Post of Canada, the hamsters in Hong Kong getting the bullet, sorry to hear that. Cost of living line go up. Ukraine, grandma from Cuba, quote from Fidel down the bottom, no blockade, no matter how big, could defeat us. Yes, indeed. Cuba, of course, has developed 2 corona vaccines with 90% efficiency, and they've given a dose to 90% of the population so far, and key point, they're willing to share the vaccines totally free with the rest of the world. But they can't do that because of the illegal US embargo. So, just another day of flagrant human rights abuses and legalised murder by the American Empire. Star of South Africa, cops going around to restaurants rounding up foreign nationals who don't have visas and deporting them. Jerusalem Post, Corona, ongoing story about NSO, that's the people who invented the Pegasus software, which was sold to many foreign governments, licensed by the Israeli government, was used by the Saudis to spy on Jamal Khashoggi before they murdered him in cold blood in Turkey. This investigation here is just limited to Israel. They were spying on Israeli citizens without search warrants, legal clearances, court authorization, that sort of thing. Tehran Times, Ebrahim Raisi visiting Vlad yesterday in Moscow. Hope he was alright over there, pretty cold at the moment. Down bottom left, Oxfam released a report for the World Economic Forum, which was not at Davos this year, but online on Zoom. They said that inequality is killing one person every 4 seconds. So because all the wealth is getting concentrated at the top and we have huge wealth criminality, that's killing people every day, 21,000 people. That's the real cost of wealth criminality. So thanks, Elon. The Hindu up the top, Taliban urged Muslim nations to recognise Afghan government. Good stuff. Hope that goes well. The Australian Liz Truss hammering on about China. COVID, woman with a cricket bat, watch out. Global Times China, multiple US politicians make a fortune in the health crisis. This is picking up an article from Business Insider that said 13 federal lawmakers were named for allegedly violating the Stock Trading on Congressional Knowledge Act. Really doesn't mean much because it can only be fined about $200, but they quote a professor in here as saying, through propaganda, the US has created the illusion that elected officials will always put people's interests first and serve them. The US pretends that their democratic political system is the most effective by means of maintaining incorruptibility, but it turns out that they have simply designed a system to legitimize corruption. Yes, just like every other Western liberal democracy. There's Raisi in Moscow again. Irish Examiner, air pollution, they arrested a lad in that high-profile true crime case. Down the bottom, €1,000 bonus for frontline staff in the pandemic, good stuff. Irish Times, property, true crime, domestic violence line go up, okay, not good, don't like to hear that. Irish Daily Mail, silk pajamas or something, true crime story. The Irish Sun, government are going to give the Irish people an extra day's holiday over Paddy's weekend to get pissed, that's just what we need. Down here, same true crime case. The Herald from Scotland, Boris. Financial Times, Boris. Bottom left, Silvio Berlusconi back in the news, oh my days. Younger viewers might not be aware of this guy, just think of him like an Italian Donald Trump. He's worth about $6 billion, so 2% of Elon Musk's net worth, still a lot of money. He controls 90% of the television channels in Italy, either directly or indirectly, and he's best known for 3 things: tax evasion, soliciting underage girls for sex, and being very likely closely linked to the mafia. He once said about Benito Mussolini, Benito was a benign dictator who did not murder opponents but sent them on holiday, and he did the right thing in siding with Adolf Hitler during World War II. The Guardian, meet the man who read all 27,000 Marvel comics. I think I'll pass on that one, to be honest. There's Boris still Prime Minister. Times, Boris still Prime Minister. Bottom left, Andrew quits Twitter. The Duke of York, who is of course involved in an ongoing court case, charged with raping an underage girl who was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire paedophile financier, did not kill himself, RIP. He's begun removing his profiles from social media in response to the announcement that he would no longer style himself His Royal Highness. In fairness, pretty good for your mental health to get off Twitter. It's pretty good for mine. The Independent, in the name of God, go. That was one of Boris's own MPs come out in the comments and said to him, in the name of God, go. David Davis said it to him. In fairness to David Davis, even though he's a conservative, he does not back the extradition of Julian Assange to America. So one good thing going from. The government are also going to lift face masks and isolation. So once March 24 rolls around, if you get the virus, you won't have to isolate and you won't have to wear face masks in schools from as early as next week, I think. So government fast tracking everything to try and keep themselves in power, I guess. Up the top, the lesson Meghan must learn from Kate. Definitely don't want to read that article. Kate is, of course, the niece of Prince Andrew, who's involved in an ongoing court case, charged with raping an underage girl, trafficked Jeffrey Epstein, billionaire paedophile financier, did not kill himself, RIP. There's David Davis standing up to tell Boris to go and do one. Daily Mirror, celebs, Boris, Daily Express. Under threat, the beloved Great British Conservatory. So Campaigners are coming out and saying you can't build conservatories anymore because they heat up houses too much, so it's quite hard to cool down in a hot summer. There was a pretty funny article yesterday on the TV of a woman campaigner. She was on getting interviewed and she said, yeah, we have to stop building conservatories, but she herself was sitting in a conservatory during the interview, so have a look at that if you want to build a laugh. Omicron, Boris again. That one there, in the name of party unity, go and back the Prime Minister. Okay, so clear ideology lines coming out now. The Express in favour. Daily Mail. Half of this paper just says here, Putin is out starting a war, inflation is bad, but these MPs are trying to get Boris out, who's leading us through COVID. What the hell is wrong with them, you know? Down the bottom here, a human interest story has been leaked to the Mail. Boris's daughter, Romy, had COVID apparently. Sorry to hear that. She got over pretty quick, like most kids do. Not the biggest a deal, but clearly there to extract some kind of sympathy for Boris. I have zero sympathy. I do have sympathy for the child, not only because she had corona, but by virtue of the fact of who her dad is. iNewspaper, Boris again. Metro, Boris, return to the office. That's not good. Yeah, they're going to send everyone back, work from home over, no mask rules, no self-isolation. Daily Star, Boris, Vlad. Well, Boris is still the Prime Minister of the UK against all odds. Prince Andrew is still the Duke of York. And Julian Assange is still in jail at the maximum security Belmarsh prison without fair trial or due process in solitary confinement. If you want to stay off corporate state, social media for the day, click the link in the description. Alright, thanks, good luck.